Welcome back to Terpy. I'm Ryan, and this video is going to be a little bit different than the normal videos we have on the channel. As you can already tell, I'm talking directly to the camera, which is somewhat new to me, as I've only been doing this to the Patreon page. So if you're not a part of there, please join, and the extra support goes a long way in supporting the channel. I want to update you guys on what the future plans are for the channel, that I am moving on. We'll go into more detail about that later on in the video, but I want to show you what I just completed. So we'll flip the camera around and show you these grow tents that I have going on that I just completed the entire growth cycle of. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, this is my current setup right now for my grow tents on the channel. I do grow 4 or 5 tents at the same time, and then I release those grow videos onto the channel, 1 video per week for 6 weeks. So this is the first tent that we're going to be looking at. This is the Mars Hydro 4x4 tent with the FC 6500 LED light. We got 2 clips fans, one from AC Infinity here, and just a Hurricane one back there. And you know, we got to have the Pulse grow room monitor in each of the tents. Pulse is a big supporter of the channel, so be sure to check them out and use the code TERPYHIGHS. You can use TERPYHIGHS on pretty much all the grow equipment you see. So we just completed our grow series of this. It was the Grape Rock Candy by Banana Buttercups from Square One Genetics. You'll be seeing that next on the channel. We'll move over to here, which is the 3x3 AC Infinity tent with the Viper Spectra KS3000 LED light. This is the grow tent that you just recently seen on the channel, and we just completed it last week. We grew 7 plants in here, which were the Tropic Lightning from Ocean Grown Seeds. You can see we only had 1 clip fan here and the used setup up there. We'll move back over here. So after this video series, which we just completed, we will see this grow series next. And then after that, we'll move on to this grow tent, which is the Gorilla Grow Tent 4x4 with the Bestiva TF650 LED light. We got a 8-inch tabletop fan on the bottom, and then we have the 2 clip fans up top. We had another strain from Square One Genetics grown in this tent, which was the Brisker OG crossed with Banana Buttercups, which is named Big League. We had a good turnout of that. Only 4 plants in this grow tent, so you'll see that grow series after we complete this one. And we'll move over here. This is another 3x3 tent from AC Infinity. Both identical tent brands, but one is the newer model and one is the older model. As you can see, no side doors here, and you got a side door over there. We grew Alien Rift from Ocean Grown Seeds in this tent. We ended up with 4 flowering females in this tent. That should give you a little update on what the future holds for the channel and the video content. Each tent will have 6 videos and then 1 video per week for 6 weeks straight. With that being said, I will be introducing other type of content in between those videos, but we'll talk about that later on. So let's jump into taking these grow tents down. As I am completely done with this location, I won't be growing in grow tents or this location at all anymore. It was a big endeavor getting this spot. It was my first home purchase almost exactly 1 year ago when I moved into here, and I'm excited to show you what we have in store after this location. So we're over here in the 9 light room. About a quarter of the subscribers on this channel subscribe strictly from this build series of this 9 light grow room. So I want to say thank you for everybody that supported this grow room series, as it was a big endeavor when I first started this. I didn't have the funds to complete it all by myself. Happy Hydro was a big supporter in this. I told them my idea and the space that I wanted to create, and they put me in contact with Grower's Choice, which was a massive supporter of this space. They supplied the grow lights. They also put me in contact with Pulse Grow Room Monitors, which has been an immense supporter of the channel, even going forward and continuing to support me in my next endeavor after this grow room. If you're watching this video, you're probably very aware of how this room was put together, as I did a full build series on everything I did in here. But I have seen quite a few different questions about details of this room over the past year or so on those videos. So I'll do my best right now to give you guys a quick overview of everything that went into this room and how it operates. So we're going to start off with the room being 19 feet wide this way by 23 feet wide this way. Each table is 4 feet wide by 16 feet long. We don't use the last foot of the table for growing, so it's only really 15 feet, making it 3 lights above each table, making a 9-light room. Each light covers a 4-foot wide space by 5 feet wide this way. The tables were made from pallet racking, which we covered in the build series. They are 16 inches tall. Under each table, there is an inline fan pushing air under the tables. So one's over there pushing this way. We have another one here pushing this way. And then we have a third one on that end pushing wind air this way. Makes for amazing air circulation under the tables. As for the air circulation above the tables, we have 4 oscillating fans, 1 on each wall. 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, they're kind of offset on each wall, making each fan covering 2 lights. A lot of people say that's not enough air circulation above the canopy, but I found it has worked really well for me. The one issue on this room is the entire room only has 60 amps of power going to it, which I have completely maxed out. I don't feel comfortable adding any more items on the power system, as I will probably blow the breaker if I even add 1 or 2 more fans. With that being said, the AC system is on its own power supply. It's not a part of the 60 amp panel. We'll go over here to our emergency fan. We have a 6-inch inline fan from AC Infinity, which exits out the top of the roof. It is filtered with a carbon filter. So this is controlled over here by the Trollmaster thing device, and only goes on if we have high temperature, high humidity, or high CO2 levels. Otherwise, this room acts as a sealed room. We'll show you where the air comes in if that fan does go on. Don't mind the mess, as I just completed an entire grow in this room right before making this video. We have the air intake here with a filter. Air is just pulled in from outside on the other side of the wall, which is the uninsulated garage, which has many holes in it. So air is just coming into the building through that way. The air would travel across the room, get stirred up by all the fans, and then exit out the roof over there, making it very easy when I switch over to fresh air in any emergency. So we have 2 Quest dehumidifiers. Each one is a 165 unit. We have the 2-ton AC system, which is a mini split heat pump system. So it provides both air conditioning and heat, as I am in Canada and I do need heat in the wintertime during lights off periods. So that provides heat during those situations. As for humidity, we have our humidifier down there, which just humid air up into the room. And then we have our oscillating fan, which just distributes it across the room nicely. As for controlling the environment, we have our Hydro X, which controls temperature, humidity, the dehumidifiers, heat, AC, whatever. And then we have the Aqua X, which controls the irrigation system. We'll go into the irrigation system a little bit later. Let's talk about the environment currently. So we have our dehumidifiers, our heat and our air conditioning, our humidifying, and then all of our air circulation that we've already talked about. So for our irrigation, I already mentioned we have the Aqua X here, which we have our liter pump, which feeds the water to both the tables and our recirculation. So our nutrient tank stays nicely mixed all the time. This is a 300-gallon tank, which lasts me about around 8 days, depending on which stage of growth we have in the room. We mix our nutrients in this tank, and then we feed our tables through that when the plants need it. This other tank is a reclaim tank, which claims the moisture from the AC systems and the dehumidifiers. Both of those systems feed into this garbage can here. And then we have a sump pump here, which when it gets to a certain level, it pushes the water through the 2 filters there, making it nicely filtered water, and travels across, back up, and then into this tank. This is a 150-gallon reservoir here of filtered water. And as you can see, it comes out, and we have another T here. Let's move that. And then it feeds our humidifier. So we have an endless amount for our humidifier, never having to worry about this running dry. We do have a valve here to block it off so it does not get mixed with our nutrients. We leave this one open, which feeds our pump, which allows it to be recirculated. It goes on for 3 minutes every hour, so our nutrients don't go stale. In the event that I can't get back here within 8 days, and this is almost at the end, this tank usually lasts about 5 or 6 days before it's fully full. In the event that it does get full, we do have a overflow, which does go into the nutrient tank, which does dilute the nutrients a little bit, but it also saves me if I'm not back in the room for 9, 10, maybe 11 days, depending on the situation of that week. So it does save me in those situations, but the plants do get a little less strong nutrients. Over that week, we do have our pH doser here, controller, which keeps our nutrients at our set pH level. Usually it's around anywhere from 5.9 to 6.2, depending on the stage of growth. So after hearing that this tank lasts about 8 days, you might be wondering, why am I away from this grow room for so long or so many days? Well, this room is 3 hours away from where I live, which makes it a very big challenging situation when growing. It was a big sacrifice building this room so far away from my house, but it was the only location I had available at the time and in my budget, which my budget wasn't even close to the amount that was needed to build this room. But because I had a couple supporters and different brands, Happy Hydro was a big supporter in the channel even way before you guys even seen this room. I told them my idea of wanting to build a 9-light room, and they were all for it and put me in contact with some great companies that also saw my vision and trusted me with building this out. Growers Choice supplied the lights. Pulse supplied the grow room monitors, which we have one there, one in the center, one on that wall, and one right here. Without great companies like that supporting me from the very beginning and trusting my vision, this wouldn't have been possible. And definitely the next step in the channel's future wouldn't have been possible without you guys watching also. I guess what I'm trying to say is this room is completely done. That was the last grow that I completed in here. You guys won't see this on the channel going forward. It's no longer in my possession and won't be in the future. It is a sad day as I put so much work and time into this room, trying to make it exactly what I wanted, or learning, changing things, learning what works, learning what doesn't work, which brands to use, which brands not to use. It was a big learning curve, and I hope you guys enjoyed the journey of this room in the several videos that I made on it and the few grows that I did in it. Before I show you guys what's next, let's take a look at the clone setup. This is a 2x4 Spider Farmer oversized tent, and we have 2 easy cloners, 128 site easy cloner. We got a metal wire rack in here, giving us 2 levels, and we have the Growers Choice ROI 200 LED light there. And we have a second one down here. This setup was great to start the clones in, set the easy cloner, and then be gone for a few days. It was a great idea, but also the easy cloner needed a bunch of attention, keeping the pH in its range. So it really didn't do the best for me in my given situation, being that this place was so far from where I lived. Last thing we can look at is this is the Twister T4 trimmer. A lot of people don't like machine trimmers. I think they get a bad reputation because people really don't know or take the time to learn how to actually use these machines. I've had amazing results with them.
system, as I have dialed in the temperature and humidity these machines need to work, and you need your bud to be at a specific moisture content for it to trim properly. People just aren't putting the moisture content of their bud at the proper range. You gotta dry your material properly to get a good cure also. So finding that good range is nice. I found drying for 14 days at 60% humidity and 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the standard amount. But what I have found, the next step that you need to do when using these machines is drop your humidity in your room down to between 50 and 55% for about 12 hours, which makes the fan leaves on the exterior of the bud crispy. That way, when it does go through the machine, you can push the buds through here as quick as possible so you don't lose any trichomes, or as very little as possible, and just the fan leaves are knocked off. You also have to get this machine to the 60 degree Fahrenheit temperature. That is very important. If you have this metal at 70, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it is going to become sticky when your buds are tumbling through there. You have to get the machine down to temperature also.
Well, that's the end of this room. I'm going to have to pack my luggage and take you guys along for the journey to show you guys where I'm going. I've reduced my complete life down to a couple suitcases, said goodbye to this room, rented out my house, and sold off my car, tractor, different other things, all the furniture. But it's a big step, big commitment, but I'm here to show you guys what's possible when you are determined and put all your hard work, everything into what you truly love and what you want to do. Before we take off, we're definitely taking these Pulse Pros with us on our journey to the next spot, which means we are not done growing on the channel. Hope you guys like that little montage of my traveling over to Thailand. That's where this building's located. It's about 10,000 square feet. We're doing 4 flower rooms. Each flower room 64 lights, a veg room with 41 lights. We're gonna do a dry room and a trimming room. That's pretty much the end of this video. So I will update you guys along the way on the progress. Just want to add one more clip to the end of this video so you guys could see what's going on. That last clip was from me traveling 26 hours to get here. Pretty dark right now, so hopefully the lighting isn't too bad for you guys to see. Let's give you a quick walkthrough of the facility right now. So here we're walking in. There's a wall right here. This will be a double door. To the left we'll have our veg room. There'll be 3 double layer racks in there. This will be our clone section. So veg room right there. Across the hallway will be our dry room. We'll be splitting this into 2 separate rooms so we can have 2 drying processes at the same time. The back room over there will be the trimming. Move down the center room right here with the poles will be our irrigation. We have our tanks already ready to go. And then this will be our flower room. We have 3 posts in the middle. We couldn't get away with having a free run up there, so we got 3 poles in the center. There'll be 8 rolling benches and then 8 lights per row. All the irrigation will be outside, obviously. And then we got 4 of those rooms, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll leave the video here. So hopefully you guys liked it and follow along with the entire build series of this going on in the future.